Recently, I went to Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, Thunder vs. Spurs, and despite all the controversy, everybody on Twitter and Reddit saying all the games are unwatchable while the NBA breaks viewing records, I'd never been to a Game 7 before. I wanted to go last year when the Thunder played the Nuggets, but I didn't end up going. So this time I said fuck it. I bought tickets, booked a last minute flight and hotel, and in doing so, I unknowingly stayed at an illegal hotel. Here's what happened. Once I land, get picked up at the airport, start going to the hotel. And as the Lyft driver is pulling in, I had to do a double take. I looked at my phone twice. I even opened Google Maps because the front of the hotel did not look like some of the photos that I had seen on there, which was red flag number one. And it also had an orange sign on the side of the building next to the door. That's going to be important later, but for now, I'm just trying to get to the game. Game's going to start soon. I want to do all the pre-game activities outside and inside of the arena. My mindset is, all right, I'm just going to check in, drop off my stuff, and head to the game. So I go in, check in, and as I'm walking to my room, first thing I notice is the hallway is pitch black and it smells like mold. Not the greatest start, that's for damn sure. But okay, not a big deal as long as the room is okay. I swerve, bend that corner, I look up, the ceiling is missing. There's literally exposed ductwork, wires, tile, insulation that you can see. Get to my room, and they're still cleaning it. So the front desk lady comes up to me, moves me to another room. I go in there, drop off my bag, don't even turn on the light, maybe look around for like 5-10 seconds, and I leave. I go to the game, do all the pregame stuff I wanted to do. They also had a bunch of different stations there where you could get face painting, make signs, take a bunch of photos. They even had a little holographic trading card that you could get, which I thought was awesome. They did that last year when I went for game 1 of the finals. I get my half off concessions, watch the game. And we lose. We fucking lose, bro. Wemby lifts up the Western Conference Finals MVP trophy to a damn near empty arena, and the Spurs lift up the Western Conference Finals Champions trophy. After the game, I was a bit upset, obviously a bit disappointed. I wasn't as mad as last year when I was legit fuming even the next day at the airport after game 1. So I started just walking around the downtown, walking around near the arena, and around midnight, I decide to go back to my hotel. I get to the door, walk in, turn on the light, and this is when I realized that I fucked up by not checking the room. There's holes in the wall. And not only are there holes in the wall, there are stains on the bed. It's literally yellow and discolored on the sheets, on the pillows. The curtains are also stained. The walls are stained somehow. I don't even know how that even happens. There's a little plastic thing under my bed. There's hairs on my towel.
This is not my hair length.
My towels are also stained and dirty. The toilet paper holder that they have literally doesn't even exist anymore. It's just a hole on the side of the countertop. So they just put the toilet paper roll on the sink, which is crazy. And so that's when I realized this place is a legit trap house. Now at this point, it's too late to do anything about it. If I go to the front desk lady or contact the property, what are they gonna do? Move me to another room? The hotel and the room are already run down, so even if they move me somewhere else, it probably won't make a difference. If I leave, where am I gonna go? Am I gonna go sleep on the streets of OKC? No, of course not. So I do the next best thing. I try and contact Agoda to see if they can help me in any way since I booked through them. I go on their website, find their phone number, try calling them, nobody picks up. If I email them, it's gonna take probably a few business days to get back to me, so I try their virtual chat. Their virtual chat sends me a link to message them on WhatsApp. I open WhatsApp, open the link, and what do you know? It's an AI-powered chat. You can't even talk to a real person. I tried for like 3 to 5 minutes, entering in a bunch of different information to see if I could get through to somebody. And all it does is just loop and tell you to either contact the property or leave a review. That's when I realized this shit is completely cooked. There is no other option for me but to stay here for the night. I even contacted Amex too to see if they could potentially help, since I did use their card to book through Agoda. And they just told me to take a bunch of photos, videos, and if I needed to dispute it and Agoda continues to not pick up or contact me, then we can do a chargeback later on. To be fair, even if I checked the room, I don't think any of this was really preventable unless I would have moved to another hotel, which there weren't many of because all of them were booked out, since Game 7 literally was a last minute thing for like most people. So I go around taking a bunch of photos and videos of not only my room, but of the hotel, just so I have that evidence. Next day, I wake up and I feel like I can barely breathe because it just smells like straight up mold in the room. I brush my teeth and I check out early. As I'm waiting for my ride to go downtown, since there was like 8+ hours left before I even had to go to the airport, I start taking some photos and videos of the outside since it was dark last night and I didn't want to do that where you couldn't really see the building. And as I'm doing that, I finally read the sign and it says, tax permit revoked. And I'm just standing there shook, like, what the fuck is this? I keep reading and it says, it is unlawful for a business in the state of Oklahoma with their tax permit or license revoked to continue operating. That's when I realized they're fucking operating illegally. This is an illegal hotel. And I just stood there waiting in utter disbelief and putting two and two together where it's like, oh, the hotel is completely run down. And that's because they're not even supposed to be operating. 2 days after I get back from OKC, I try contacting Agoda again. And this time, they actually pick up. I explained the situation to them. They tell me to send in all the evidence. And after a bunch of back and forth, them escalating me multiple times, trying to dodge giving me a refund or just compensation that's adequate in general, they finally gave me a full refund because the business was operating illegally. I've stayed at fancy hotels that are like $500+ a night. I've stayed at shitty motels that are like $30, $40 and everything in between, even hostels. But I'd never been in a place where not only was the exterior and maybe the common areas run down, but the room was also a legitimate biohazard. You could probably put a fucking Geiger counter in there and that shit would be beeping all night. It was absolutely crazy. I'd never experienced anything like that in my entire life.